Well, thank you for the time. And I'm Lisa Disch. I'm a professor of political science, specializing in political theory here in the department. And the course that we're going to talk about is Political Science 101, which is Introduction to Political Thought. So this is a course that I've designed to interest first and second year students in a way of understanding political life and posing questions about it that I don't think that they get exposure to in high school. And so while we do read some pretty old texts, selections from them, we also are talking about what we can learn from what liberalism, conservatism, and socialism meant when they originally emerged and how they've changed over time in response to some of the key defining moments of US history. So we will talk about the civil rights movement. That's kind of where we end. We look at how the Civil War changed American political thought, the Progressive Era, the Great Depression, and a little bit around World War II. So I came to the university in 2008 after having worked as a political science professor at the University of Minnesota and lived in Minneapolis for 18 years. So, and I don't come from an academic family, but I did grow up in a college town in Evanston, Illinois. And thanks to my dad's job with the telephone union and my mother's work as a school secretary in the school district that I was actually educated in, I was able to go to Kenyon College in Ohio. So I got a liberal arts education, which neither of my parents were able to do. And then I did my PhD at Rutgers University in New Jersey and had my first job was a postdoc at the University of Chicago. And University of Chicago students do not hold a candle to University of Michigan students, I will say, intellectually and just in terms of their life experiences and everything that they bring to the classroom. And then, as I said, I was 18 years in Minneapolis and moved here in 2008. Well, this is going to sound maybe a little cliched or Hallmark card, but what I most love about teaching is learning because I'm always trying to figure out ways to get students interested in the authors that I really love. And every time I do that, I find a different thing. And every time I teach something and students react with enthusiasm or anger or passion or whatever, they teach me something about that material. And so that's what really gets me, excited about this. Well, what's unique about it, as you can tell from the way I described it, is that I don't teach it as a historical survey. So we don't start with the Greeks and end with, somebody who writes about war or something like that. So the usual joke is to say from Plato to NATO. And that's really not the way I teach. Although we do read selections from classic authors, which students tell me can be dull, we are looking to those authors for guidance to orient ourselves in the debates and challenges and conflicts of our time. What I really want students to come away from this course understanding is that this story that we're hearing about polarization and red versus blue America is just that. It's a story. And it's a story that people tell us, politicians tell us, to get us to fight with each other. And I think that what students see, or I hope that they see, is that when we explore the classic statements of these ideologies that are supposedly tearing us apart today, we find that there's a lot of overlap among them. And when we are more thoughtful about our own positions, we find that they are a patchwork. So, for example, environmentalism or climate action, however you want to think about it today, it has a real conservative element to it, which is the question of what does the present owe to future generations? And I know that question is on our students' mind because they are asking it of us and of themselves. They are looking back to us and saying, what did you do to get us here? And what can we do better for whoever comes after? And again, another feature of environmentalism is this belief that it is okay. Government can go ahead and tell people that there are some things they cannot do with their private property, or they cannot do with the resources that they find there. And, that's a little bit of a socialist idea. So I think we learn, more, not just about how complex our ideas are, but that they don't neatly separate into boxes. And there certainly isn't one single cleavage that all of us line up on one side or the other of.